Happy Friday, y'all. You already know what time it is. Hit that like, subscribe, and post notification bell for me. Day 5, y'all. Day 5, and guess what? With y'all's generous support, I'm in first place right now. Man, I'm telling you right now, that feels amazing. I got another thing to disclose, full disclosure. Now, I may cry once a year, right? Yesterday, I was checking my competition dashboard and saw that I'd gone to second place, right? And I was like, man, this is so cool. This feels really good. And like out of nowhere, and this is always how it happens to me, like it just kind of sneaks up on me. But out of nowhere, I just was flooded with all these big emotions all at once. And I had to sit in my car. I just come back from doing cardio for lunch. And I had to sit in my car for about 15 minutes and collect myself. But it's so easy, as I put in my post earlier, but I wanted to verbalize this for y'all. It's really easy in spending all these early mornings when I'm the first to the gym and working my hardest and keeping my vision like right here directly in front of me, keeping the goal present in the front of my mind at all times, while balancing being an honorable, dependable person who's amenable to change and who's open to accepting good from every source and all this stuff, and who's fallible and accepting and of my flaws and all of these different things and my character defects. It's easy. It's easy to feel isolated, right? And you know, you don't notice the progression. This is the part where faith comes in, and the belief in yourself, and the belief in your message, and the belief in your vision and the work. Is sometimes you don't see the growth while you're going through it, right? And there are times where it's incredibly isolating. It feels incredibly isolating, and you can feel like no one sees you. I do my best not to get discouraged, but it's tough when I'll be excited about a piece of content and I'm like, oh, I'm really excited to present this to people, and this is really helpful to me, and it gets like 2 likes, like 1 view, and I know that those aren't in a certain context, those things are important, but the overall bigger picture, an element of importance for me is creating this catalog of content so that when people do engage and people are present and they're looking for different messages and they're looking for hope and stuff like that, and they're looking for representation, it may be someone who looks like me and they're looking around and nobody has a life, no one's come from where they come from, no one's overcome the things that they have, that looks like them around them, so it's difficult to draw inspiration or meaning from that. And I get it, I've been there. But anyway, I was sitting there thinking, and like I said, all of a sudden I was just overcome with these really big feelings, and I just said out loud to myself, man, this is really, really cool, because like I said, at times it can feel really isolating and like you're not seen, and not that people don't appreciate it, but there's always just this question in your mind, like, am I on the right path? And the overwhelming support is like it blows me away, and I'm supremely grateful, and I don't know how to effectively articulate the feelings of gratitude that I have, because what your support lets me know is that you do see me, you do support the vision, you believe in what I'm doing, you believe me. That's the really big deal for me. Like, you believe me, and it lets me know that I'm on the right path, right? And that is, again, there is a message in my story, and I 100% wholeheartedly believe that this is what I was supposed to do. This is why all of the other things that I've been interested in or thought I was interested in didn't really pan out, and I never had a connection to, not the way that I do with this, not the way that I do with coaching, not the way that I do with fitness. This speaks to the truest messages of my heart, and where it intersects with recovery, in that 100% direct control in that moment while I'm searching for serenity, and I'm in the gym and I'm working out, or I'm staying disciplined and dedicated on my nutrition. These are like paramount importance, especially to an addict or an alcoholic who have this trait, generally, all of us do, where we have this intense desire to control as much of our direct environment as possible, right? Never recognizing that we don't and aren't able to, especially not when our minds and our spirits are in complete total chaos and misaligned. But for me, when I'm clean and present and spiritually sound and wealthy, when I'm working out or when I'm feeding my spirit and my body with good energy, good nutrition, that's when my mind, which can fractal sometimes, and my spirit and my body are doing the same thing. They're in accordance, they're on the same path, and there's few other things that are as enriching or empowering that I've experienced in this life than that feeling. Being present and able to experience all that goodness in that moment. I want to be that expression for someone who's looking for that and don't know what they're looking for, but they're looking for that. And maybe in that moment, I don't know that I'm delivering that for them, but I have. That's my mission, because there were people in my life, in three instances that I can remember and that stand out in my mind, that in that moment where I needed compassion, I needed representation, I needed a demonstration of something from someone who looked like me, or for whatever reason, their message landed with me and it stuck and I needed it. And in that moment, they granted me just that seed or that push or that hug or that bit of information, whatever the case might be. Again, I hope to be that for someone else, and it makes me feel amazing that y'all see that and recognize that, because granted, yeah, the $20,000, would I say, I'm like, oh, I don't want the $20,000. Of course I do. That would be amazing, and it would help me open my gym space. All I think about is how many more people I can reach with my message through a big, huge publication like Muscle and Fitness Magazine. It's huge. And that makes my heart warm. That makes me hopeful, and that inspires me. Like today, I didn't want to get up, but I did. I didn't want to do all that cardio, but I did. That I have these certain things that I won't share right now, but that I say to myself in those moments, like maybe one I'll share with you. But if you want to win, you don't quit now. You don't win by stopping. You never win anything by stopping. You never win by turning around and going back to where you came from. That's never where victory lives. And that's the same thing that I said to myself the day I got clean. And when I decided with my wife that we were going to commit to repairing our family and fighting this cyclops and giant of the family court system, not going to win going backwards, not going to win continuing to drink and leaning into my lower self habits. But anyway, thanks again. And I humbly request for you to continue on this journey with me. Continue the support. It's amazing. And I feel inadequately able to express appropriately how grateful I am for all the support. And this is a long video, so I'm gonna shut up now because they're almost at 9 minutes, and I know YouTube doesn't like long ass videos, and neither does anybody else. I do. But anyway, all right, day 5, y'all. Head on over to the link. It's in the description. Run those votes up. Let's keep this first place spot. Peace, y'all.